I am so excited and so proud to say that Rhythm of the Universe is finally out on Future House Music. I'm I'm honestly speechless and I'm very happy for this. I know you guys are gonna love it and it truly means a lot. If you haven't seen the video where I explain the story behind this song, I suggest you go check it out because it's honestly a very interesting story. Let's get to the good part, should we? What started off this song was honestly the chords, and the chords sound like this. These chords were meant to be a drop, but they ended up just being the breaks. As I told you guys in the other video, I was reading a book and I wrote a chord progression. The chord progression ended up being the break, and I am using it on the drop too, but it ended up being the breaks basically. And what I think really stands out on this song is first drums. So we're gonna go ahead and show you. First, we got a kick. Sounds like this. Super basic, but after 4 bars, still basic, right? But it's basically a kick repeating over and over and over again. And then we got a couple clap layers. I think we actually have 2 layers of claps. Here's the first clap. This one's a very sharp and very short clap. But then we have another one which almost sounds like a snare. Without the other one, it sounds a little bit dull. So let's listen to it. When we add the first clap, we add high frequencies to it, basically. And it almost sounds like a slap. And that was my goal with this. And you might think I'm basing this drums on somebody, but let me show you this video from 2014 where I recorded one of my IDs at the time. And the claps were basically the same. It's crazy to see that video, I know. Before I was Jay Eskar, I was making complex shows, so anything that has like really powerful claps, I enjoy. Sometimes I don't even use a clap, I use a snare. That way I can make sure it's more like ch instead of like. After the kick and the clap, all we needed to add was another kick. And this is what really drives the song. This is what really makes it groovy. This is what not only makes it like strong, but also groovy, you know, so it flows. It's basically like it's slapping you, but it's not stopping like this. So this is how it sounds like. And that's the first part. You know, that's how the song pretty much started. Then we go ahead and we go to the bass line. I think the sub takes a very important part because these are the breakdown chords. Let me open them for you. This is how the breakdown chords sound like or look like. And if I put the drop sub, you'll see that the melody, it's a bit different. And what you can see is the progression is a bit different. I mean, the red notes are the notes from the sub, and the yellow notes are the ones on the chord, on the breaks. As you can see, break has a F, Z, C sharp, and then D sharp, and that repeats again after C, C sharp, and D sharp, I mean. And that's what you've listened to throughout the whole breakdown, but on the drop goes to F, C, C sharp, and then C sharp again. And the reason I did that was because it really helped me keep tension. When I used the same bass progression on the drop as on the breaks, it sounded like it moved too much. By keeping the C on C, again, it just made it like the song almost feels as if it's dragging you and pulling you and dragging you and pulling, like pulling you and pushing you and pulling you and pushing you. And that was the idea for this. So if we play the sub, sounds like this. If we play it with the drums, sounds like this. But basically what I'm doing also, besides that, is automating a lot of the pitch on this synths on the drop. As you can see, it's like, wow, you know? So before my subs were boring. Before, after. It definitely feels a lot more playful, right? And once you add synths to it, you'll see the difference with pitch automation. Behind everything, I have a couple of sounds. One of them sounds like this. Another one sounds like this. And of course, I have a white noise, which plays throughout the whole time, throughout the whole drop. Whenever the lead plays, white noise plays, okay? Now, after adding a bass line, I wanted to create a layer that was a bit dirtier. Sounds like this. As you can hear, this is basically a sub with a lot of harmonics. And what I did was remove everything that was a sub, basically. And this is just a layer for the sub, so the sub doesn't feel that lonely. It really fills out some bass frequencies, which I felt were lacking. And then we got this bass line that I made on Harmor. Sounds like this. And then it hits again. Whoa. And you can hear it at the beginning of the drop. Sounds like this, basically. It's sounds like this. Pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't sound that cool because it doesn't have any white noise. So when you put white noise on it, it makes it much better. So after adding that little punch, which I'm starting to do very often, I went ahead and added a main sound. And the main sound, you guessed it, it's one of my sounds. You guessed it, this is actually one of my sounds from my Future of House preset pack, from the Future of House Eskar sounds pack. This is actually one of my basses from the Future of House pack. It's called The Sky is the Limit, and it's supposed to be a bass, but I am using it as a lead. And it sounds like this. Actually, like this. My favorite part about this lead is that it moves as it goes up, because it's sort of a Reese. It's honestly such a cool sound, and without any pitch automation, my main synths sound like this. My main synth sounds like this. It sounds cool, but when you add automation, when I made this, I automatically felt like it was sounding really good, especially when you add white noise. Let me play the drop with and without white noise. Without white noise. With white noise. Sounds really dirty, which I really like. It also sounds more energetic and bigger. Like I've said on the other video, the way this production worked was so natural. I honestly just sat down and it was as if somebody else was doing the work for me. I was just getting ideas. And it's like, you don't eat, you don't drink water, you don't go to the restroom, you don't do anything for hours, and then you wake up and it's like, holy shit, what did I just do? That's exactly how I felt with this time. And there's something very specific about this production that made me feel like that. Here's the thing. I made this preset for my sound bank called The Future of House, which you can get on store.jsker.com. And the thing about this bass line is that it has a second layer that is not on the same pitch, which means you're basically playing a chord in a way. And it sounds like this. And when you go into the melody here, into the MIDI, you'll notice that this note's on a completely different place. And if you choose like the correct scale on the MIDI, you'll notice that some of these notes aren't even on scale. But that's because the synth isn't tuned correctly. So I made this. Basically, I made this. And most of these chords sound dissonant. Most of these chords don't make sense. But the melody glues it together, and these end up just being something that gives space and emotion to the song. This is one of those things that you do that you're like, that's actually kind of cool. Let me play you the chords without any semitone adjustment. This is how they sound like. And if you play it with the main sound, it sounds horrible and out of tune. Right? I somehow made an out of tune lead work as a melody with the main sound, and not only as a melody but as chords. Remember, I am playing a synth that is playing the root note and also 4 semitones up. And on this piano roll, I am playing 3 notes, which means this is playing 4 semitones up, this is playing 4 semitones up, this is playing 4 semitones up. I know this is hard to understand, but I made the impossible happen. This is how they sound like. It's so dissonant, but when you put it together with the lead, listen to this. As I've said before, I truly believe this is my best song ever. Not because it's cool, but I also believe it's really hard to come up with something like this. I mean, if somebody asked me to do it once again, maybe I can do it. But so yeah, processing wise, remember my presets sound good right from the start, so you don't need much. I got rid of the lows, and I made the layer, complete layer. Oh, actually, I forgot about one layer. I actually added another layer on top that sounds like this. And it's basically a guitar, and all I'm doing is getting rid of the lows. I'm using Anna for this guitar. I'm sure I was just going through some random presets, and I ended up with a guitar. But the funny part about this guitar is that it has a wah-wah effect, which means it's like it moves, which goes very well with the main lead. So when you put everything together, the drop sounds like this. Here's how the drop sounds like. This is how the drop sounds like without any white noise and any pitch bend. It still sounds cool, but when we add that white noise and that pitch bend, it takes it to another level. Check it out. What can I tell you guys? What can I tell you guys? I'm truly in love with this song, and I hope you guys are really, really liking it. Again, the last thing about this song, honestly, because it's not that crazy. It's not that overcomplicated. The next part of this is basically the chords, which I already talked about. these chords are very special because at the end I had to because at the end I add a note which is also not part of the chord of the. Listen to this. Oof, that F sharp major at the end really adds some mystical vibes to the song, and you can see it here. The melody would normally be F, C, C sharp, D sharp, C, F, C, C sharp, D sharp, C, C sharp, D sharp, and that's it. But at the end of 8 bars, I include a note that isn't part of the scale, making it very dissonant and very like, ooh, you know, like spooky kind of thing. And it's an F sharp major chord, and it sounds just, listen to this. Bro. I gotta be honest, this is my favorite song ever, and I think this is the song I'm most proud of. And not only me, but my girlfriend tells me this is one of her favorite songs ever. So I made it, guys. Anyways, after creating this chords, I went ahead and added a bunch of like urban sounds, like old town sounds. And I also added this ARP that I found on Splice. Really worked. Ooh. And then I went ahead and added a bunch of like drums. After this, what we ended up with is, I added a bunch of more like swells and stuff like that. I added this swell. This one's just repeating over and over again. Listen to this. Of course, then we went ahead and added this vocal. I mean, that's pretty much it for the breaks. Like, of course, some impacts here and there. I think it's so sick, bro. Like, one of my favorite things about this build-up is this virus sweep down. Sounds like this. It really adds something to the track. I also added like this song, this build-up is full of risers and downlifters and everything. Sounds like this. And one more, and one more. And then we got snares. And then we got more snares here. And then we got another uplifter. And of course the drums we were using on the breaks just to keep some energy flowing there. And then another snare. Like, so like, even if you don't play any synths, I guess, if you want to make better build-ups, make sure that your build-ups sound good without any synths. Like, if it already sounds energetic, you just need to add one sound or two and then it's gonna be done. Listen to this build-up just by itself. It's the peak of production. That's sarcasm. Now we have the drop melody playing. Filtered, of course, and we're also playing the chords over and over again. Just like this. I automated the pitch on that, and we got the build up. You guys are gonna hate me if I say this once again, but this is one of my favorite songs ever. I once said that making music you enjoy is what really matters. And if I'm being honest, this is a song I really, really enjoy. Like, whoever made this, bro, I fucking love you, bro. So shout out to Jay Eskar for making this amazing song. I want to listen to it all day. And then the second break is basically the same thing. I'm just adding a kick. Sounds like this. Like this. Oh, I'm also adding something else. I'm also adding, if I'm not wrong, I'm also adding this amen break. Ooh. Jay Eskar, Dirty Palm. Okay. Then we go ahead. Okay, then for something interesting that I did on the second break was adding the same drop melody. But what I really like about it is that it's basically a swell, and then it stops, and then the melody drags you, or like pushes you back once again. And it's crazy. And the way I did that was by adding a impact. That sounds like this. Let's listen to this. Hopefully you guys can get the same feel that I'm trying to portray here. Imagine you're in this big festival, okay? And everybody would be like, so yeah, that's the idea for this. If you're a big producer and you're watching this video, please, I suggest you to try to do this. Play this on a festival. Please record it and do exactly what I said, okay? Make a quick stop and then clap, okay? That's the choreography for this song. Then we move on to the second build-up, and it's basically the same thing. The only difference is my snares are not low passed right from the start. Like, right from the start, you can hear the full volume on those snares. You hear that? That's like boom, boom, boom. That's like low pass, and then here it's like. I mean, you get the whole shenanigans here. You get the whole thing here. And then for the second, and then once the second drop hits, is basically a one hit, and then it's a fake drop, and then it goes again. And then you get slapped in the face once again. The way I did this was basically just add one kick and remove all the sidechain, which you can see here. And that's basically how this track was done. That's pretty crazy, huh? Oh, something very important. Remember I told you guys on the other story about that laser sound? Because the producer that this was supposed to be a collab with mentioned the laser. I never knew what laser he was referring to, but now I know. It's this futuristic gun. That's how I call it. But people think it's a laser, but it's like, I don't know. And I'm so happy Future House Music let me keep it. Because I gotta be honest, labels are sometimes so picky with stuff, and they didn't ask me to change this. So it's like, thank you so much, Future House Music, because I'm able to express myself the way I wanted to express myself completely, musically speaking. It just feels so good. It just feels so good, and I'm super happy about this release. I want to make more content with it. Like, I want you guys to really feel connected with it if you haven't. Yeah, it's honestly really cool. I hope you guys are really enjoying it, honestly. I made it with a lot of love. Make it extremely long, but I know there's more. And I hope you can feel that in my songs. Specifically this one. Bro, what a dream, bro. What a dream. You know what's really funny? Something I've been thinking about lately is that people that listen to my music the most are not where I'm from. Why is that? I'm really wondering. Like, I've been seeing like this singer, Peso Pluma. Everybody supports him because he's Mexican. I mean, he's making Mexican music too, but who says this isn't Mexican music? I was born in Mexico. Like, I don't know. If you're a Mexican, let me know in the comments. I would love to see if there's any Mexican watching my stuff or like supporting my stuff, you know? It's weird. It's pretty weird, actually. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something. Let me know when you guys want to come to the studio once again. And by that, I mean, like, if you guys want me to create more videos and shit like that, like, I would be down. Cali Audio sent me this, watch this. I don't know if I can move it now. I can't. But Cali Audio sent me some monitors, and I haven't made any videos or anything about them, but maybe I should. What do you guys think? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.